How's everybody doing today? Good. Very good. I'd like to thank Pastor Bruce for being gracious enough to allow us to use his facility. Let's remember, no matter how worked up, heated that you might get today, that you're in the house of God. Amen. Show the proper respect. I would like to thank everybody that came here tonight. Some people drove hours. Some people drove 5 or 6 hours. And I'd also, most importantly, like to have a raise of hands of all the veterans that are in the room today. You cannot thank veterans enough. This country was born by shedding blood, and that blood cannot be left in vain. There's a lot of people that have a lot of important things to say today, so I'm going to be brief. But there's one thing that, as I've traveled around Western New York and New York State with people like Steve Alstad, that I always talk about, and that's posterity. I want a raise of hands of anybody in here who has children. Your children are your posterity. When this country was born, people sacrificed everything. Their sacred honor, their lives, so that their children, their posterity, would have a better life ahead of them. So that the generations going forward would have a better life ahead of them. Someday you're going to lie on your deathbed, and you're going to look up into the face of your children. And you're going to have to look at them, and you're going to have to say, I've done all that I could do, and now it's in your hands. Or you're going to have to look at them and be ashamed because you didn't. This country is worth everything that you have. It's worth any sacrifice you can make. When people sit at home and say they're not going to vote, that they're not going to get involved, that they're tired of picking the lesser of two evils, and they have children, when they haven't showed up for a Meet the Candidates night or a town hall meeting, when places as big as Buffalo have 5 people show up at these meetings, 5, in a city of hundreds of thousands, what they're doing is they're looking at their children and they're saying it doesn't matter. The freedom that was paid for by the blood of patriots didn't matter. You should be willing to do everything you can after a hard day's work. People like Maddie Zarpentine and Joel Zarpentine, they work all day, and then they get in their vehicles and they go to parades and they hand out voter registration forms. They travel around and they talk to people about freedom and liberty and the Constitution of the United States of America. They don't look at it as, I've done enough. It's not enough that you walk into a voting booth. That's not enough. It's not enough that you show up at a candidate's night. Go after those candidates. The politicians that we have here today care about the Constitution. A lot of politicians aren't here today. I wouldn't invite them to be here today, personally, if it was up to me. Because for them, the Constitution is just a piece of paper. The Constitution matters. Amen. Your posterity matters. What your soldiers and Marines and airmen did in the past by shedding their blood, it all matters. And when people get too lazy, too apathetic to be able to do anything, they think working their job is enough. That they go to their jobs every day and afterwards they're too tired because they worked a construction job or they sat in front of a computer all day. And you think about the founding fathers and they dragged plows through fields for 12 hours. And then they met after walking miles under candlelight in basements somewhere or in barns so they could plot out our freedom for the future. They told us that they gave us a republic. Let's see if you can keep it. We're at the point now where they want our guns. They want us to shut up when they tell us to shut up. If you put a sign on your fence, you're in violation of a town ordinance. Your child can't bring cookies school anymore, because they'll make those decisions for you, because your posterity isn't your posterity anymore. It takes a village. No, it doesn't. It takes the Constitution, and it takes patriots, and it takes liberty. No more excuses. None. The people in this room, by showing up tonight, are patriots, but you have to go farther than this. You have to be willing to do more. You have to be willing to do anything at all that it takes. That's what I got to say. I got a lot of people up here to speak tonight, and I'm going to move it along from here, but we thank you for your time, we thank you for being here, and we thank the pastor most of all, because using a church for something like this, not every pastor is willing to do that. Okay? Is Assemblyman Bill Lojay here? Because I haven't seen him.
Yes, he is.
There he is. Hello, Bill.
Yes, he is.
Bill Lojay is the Assemblyman from the 133rd District. He is going to come up to here, and he's going to obviously talk about the SAFE Act, its implications, and message of necessity. But let's give Bill a big round of applause.